NASCAR Winston Cup racing itself, and it's still part of the championship. Round 8 of the series, the spring Martinsville race, held in scorching conditions. 80 out that these drivers know so well. Poleman Jeff Gordon, the third pole of the season, the first man to do so. Alongside him on the front row, three-time pole sitter, 6 times winner here, Rusty Wallace. Jeff Burton and Ricky Rudd both looking to take their first win of the season. Good qualifying inside row 3 from Robert Presley Jr. and Jerry Nadeau. Another man they figure is due a win on his performances so far this season, starts inside row 4. Well, seldom has a surly kid grown up into a man of stature as quickly as Dale Earnhardt Jr. has in the last 2 seasons, particularly in the last 2 months. Dale Earnhardt starts in prime position inside the first 5 rows. Tony Stewart outside of row 8. Slightly better performance this weekend from him than last time out. The Joe Gibb Racing Pontiacs a little bit more on form here than they were on the faster tracks. Mikey Wallace looking for something to turn his season around. Stacey Compton, maybe he's due a top 5 finish as well. And Bobby Labonte, well, the champion having a real champion season. And only one word would sum that up: disastrous. Matt Kenseth took a tough ride last time out in the 17 DeWalt car, hoping to turn that one around. And the 36 cars, 3 non-starters. Temperatures are high, and this is always a race of attrition. It's rare that any of these cars finish in Martinsville without damage of some kind, and to a degree, it's short oval racing at its best. Almost every driver in this championship grew up on Saturday night short ovals, half mile, 3/4 mile, 5/8 mile, mile ovals if you lived in a big town, and this takes them right back to their roots. 500 laps for 263 miles is this 8th round of the championship, and motor racing is about. Fast, furious, and plenty exciting. Six wins in his career here. Rusty Wallace knows his way around this track. So too Ricky Rudd, coming off position 3 on the grid in the 28 car, finding himself pushed down the order, now down to 5th position, and still they're running 2 abreast at the back of the field. Look at that, almost as if they're still in perfect formation. Careful of those, as you can see the yellow painted curbing there, concrete about 6 inches high, and you can see the 5 cars ahead of him, all still down the front stretch. Earnhardt down into that first turn. Steve Park getting checked up, gets hit from behind by the M&M's car of Kenny Schrader. And Mark Martin involved in that massed checkup there. You can see the left. Well, Dale Jarrett knows exactly. And Bobby Labonte, well, suffering at the moment, but Jarrett, who returned back for Todd Bodine, the whole field goes past him. Can't see what's wrong with the past Carter as the whole field goes by. In front at the moment, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. right behind, looking back from Rudd to Hamilton, and now forward from spot from Sterling Marlin, who's also had a spot in the lead. Matt Kenseth has also led. He currently lies 5th. Jeff Gordon, who led early on, is in 6th spot. Rusty Wallace, despite a couple of niggling problems with his number 2 machine, is in 7th. From Kevin LePage in 8th place. Billy Elliott is in 9th place, and Ricky Rudd is in 10th spot. Well, in the early 2/3 of the race, or the major part of it, first couple of hours, And a number of different lead changes. Aside from those we've mentioned, Ricky Craven has also led, so too twice has rookie Ron Hornaday. Hitting the wall, he's already been in trouble, as you can see from the very mangled state of the M&M's Pontiac. Michael Waltrip, Elliott Sadler riding the curbs on the inside as he tried to defend that position. Meanwhile, what's left of the M&M's Pontiac is scraped into pit road by Kenny Schrader. The top of the screen for you. It's got the run. Those of them that have still got healthy brakes left will be able to oil Bobby Hamilton. Jimmy Ellis working his strategy to see when he can next get his driver into the pitch and sort out what is now a chronic handling problem. Look how far back he has dropped. Bobby, and he's now, and Gordon and Robbie Loomis really hoping that 2001 will start to show the fruits of 2 years of them work 3 races ago. And he is now the 10th different leader and Shell Speedway. And Burton racing for Jack Roush's team, having his strongest run today. Rusty Wallace in second spot, 6 times a winner here, 3 times a pole sitter, started on the front row. Sterling Marlin third, and the 10 car of Johnny Benson running much stronger in the closing stages, or the later stages of the race. He's up to 4th spot. We've dropped down the order. Fell away with a mechanical problem as well as tyre worries, having got himself out of tyre stock sequence with the others. And at the same time, Ricky Rudd working his way back up into the top 10. Former Rookie of the Year Matt Kenseth in the 17 car, running strongly at the moment in 7th spot, just behind the battle of Jeff Gordon and Ricky Rudd. But it's still Virginia-born Jeff Burton who is leading this race. Jimmy Spencer enters the 17 car, another of the Roush Racing, so a Midwest boy. Been as high as 8th, started in 7th spot. Currently 14th from 24th on the starting lineup. And 9 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour for Ron Hornaday in a frantic battle in traffic, and he looks to be the fastest man on the race car on the racetrack at the moment. Second fastest, Jimmy Spencer in the Travis Carter Ford. And again, they come to the line. 28 car, 89. Let's see what Hornaday did there, 88.7, so 3 miles an hour. And that's the 7 car of Mikey Wallace. The Ultra Motorsports run Ford takes half a lap to regain its composure. And we have the pit, and it wasn't the curbs at all, it was Elliott Sadler who was the undoing of Mike Wallace. Wallace trying to get down low and didn't give Sadler racing room. Sadler really unable to avoid that one. Couldn't put a wheel on the grass because you have to go way up the curbs for that. Dale Jarrett just misses it. Rusty Wallace just misses. Stationary car on board from Rusty. Oh, he goes low. And then in 6th position was Dale Jarrett, who's up in the grey. He's in all sorts of trouble on the restart. Jeff Gordon will go by him. Gordon shots down across the nose of the 36 car of Kenny Schrader. And see again, Rusty Wallace goes inside Jeff Burton, can't make it, checks up, runs up wide. You saw how many marbles there were earlier on. Spins up the wheels as there's no grip there. Can't fight off Ricky Rudd and Sterling Marlin. Off the lead lap, Sterling Marlin is chasing Ricky Rudd and trying to stay away from Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, and Rusty Wallace down there in 5th position. Looking back from Rudd, now no separation between himself and Sterling Marlin.
21.05, the leader ran at 21.10.
21.05 his time, the leader ran at 21.10. Shows you that Ricky Rudd is on the pace and starting to close this race lead. Jeff Gordon and Ricky Rudd, both from just across the border. Ricky Rudd, that lap round. Sterling Marlin just closing a fraction. Gordon still fourth, from Rusty Wallace in fifth. Jimmy Spencer in sixth position. Seventh place, Dale Jarrett, 4 fresh tyres and 72 laps to exploit them. But Jarrett is in heavy traffic, first and second in the Virginia 500 at Martinsville, race 8 in the 36th long Winston Cup Series. Easter weekend, a weekend off, even for Winston Cup schedule. They get the weekend off. And here we see Jeff Burton leading from Ricky Rudd, the two natives of Virginia, racing for, well, the Virginia 500. Makes sense to some people, particularly those seated in Virginia. Sterling Marlin in third place, incidentally, started 31st on the starting lineup. Best improvement among the top 10 starters by some measure. 60 to go. And at this stage, Dale Jarrett, who in the last caution period was alone among the top dozen drivers in going into the pits for fresh rubber. Look at the black stripes being left by Ricky Rudd there as he spins them up, staying on the inside, coming tight off the turn, trying to stay with Jeff Burton, or rather trying to stay distance of Lake Norman. And just 3.7 out. Back at the moment, this may help him. Up high against the wall is the Tide car. Ricky Craven in trouble. Well, he's moving, so he at least is fine. Big chunks of rubber being thrown off. Put them right at the tail of that queue. They were held by the Winston Cup officials. The crew chief thinks they're good enough to leave him out there. You can see how squirrely the 10 car of Johnny Benson got there away from the restart. There's rubber all over the place. How black those big chunks of rubber are on the track that the cars have left throughout this race. And pretty much everybody on burnt up tyres. Top 3 all on elderly rubber. Ricky Rudd leads. Sterling Marlin in second place. Jeff Gordon in third, but not now, as Dale Jarrett goes high around him. Gordon cleanly under Spencer, takes Jeff Gordon at the same time. Matt Kenseth on fresh rubber as well, tigering up the field. And this is really going to start shaking them up now in the closing stages. The differential between the pace of those who sat there in 8th place. Dale Jarrett, 18th for Burton, but Burton is way back there. And this race is probably not going to rise to catch the front runners. Ricky Rudd, 28, Texaco Havoline car is your race leader. Dale Jarrett in second place, Sterling Marlin in third, and there is Jeff Burton. He's just worked his way back up past Jimmy Spencer for 6th, and he was working on 5th position as he came across the stripe. Well, 6 times a winner here. Rusty Wallace is not going to make that 7 here, surely.
21-25.
Some way back. Robin Pemberton, his crew chief there, watching the progress of the 2 car. For a long time the race leader, but no longer in the fray. And Rusty Wallace getting loose inside the 4 car of Kevin LePage. Here is our race leader, 13 this time.
21-24, 14 to go.
And Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, still with a slender but noticeable advantage over Dale Jarrett. And the difference between them, well, on the final yellow, so far the final yellow of the race, the last one, Dale Jarrett with 4 much fresher tyres, still in second place as they get past Kurt Busch. The big question is, can Ricky Rudd, in traffic, hold off Dale Jarrett on much fresher tyres? Ricky Rudd spotter calling it all the way round for him. Kevin LePage is the next obstacle ahead, but it's fast. And Hornaday's in trouble. He's got a blown tyre. He's got a cut tyre on the right front, I think, of the 14 car. That may yet cause dramas. It may yet bring out a full course yellow. It may yet stop Ricky Rudd having any chance. But it's all done for Ricky Rudd. Long-time race leader in the closing stages. But look at the state of his car. It's refusing to turn at all. And he may even lose second place. Surely not, though, on the final lap to Jeff Burton. Hallelujah, you've done it indeed. The first three-time winner of the 2001 season. Back-to-back race wins in Texas and Martinsville for Dale Jarrett. Ricky Rudd second. And good news for Joe Gibb. Stuart Earnhardt Jr. Gordon 12th, Rusty 1. Dale Jarrett overshooting the back entrance to the pits. He comes in search of Victory Circle. Well, Dale Jarrett has no reason to know where the Jarrett. And are we seeing Jarrett taking a march towards perhaps a second title? Here is the decisive moment. He hated to take it from Ricky Rudd, but take it he did. Rudd, long-time leader here, the Virginia native, hoping to win the Virginia 500. All the teams are suggesting changes at Talladega. Next time out on Winston Cup Racing on Eurosport will be high-speed restrictor plate action. Join us for that. Till then, from me, Martin Havens, for Dale. Was another